This is Steve, and I'm here in Harrisburg, PA for a special YouTube video with none other than Ricardo Volsi. Ricardo, welcome. This is on Driven TV. Can you let the people know who exactly you are for some of those young people that have no idea who Ricky is?
I am Ricardo, but in Jersey I am known mostly as Ricky, and everybody. I was at one point the director, the youth director for the Northern Haitian Association, which consists of all the Haitian churches within our alliance group. And in 2004, I was elected, and part of my responsibility was to maintain this conference, which was known as the Northern Haitian Association Youth Conference, and that became the Driven Experience.
Okay. Now, throughout the years of Driven, what made you come up with the idea to have a Driven conference?
One of the things I appreciated about being around different organizations and different churches and different denominations was that they would have something consistent, a name that aligned themselves to their conference, to their youth group, to their denomination. For the CMA, Christian Missionary Alliance, they had life. And we wanted something that would be recognizable. We wanted something that was easy for us to own. And so in our first meeting, myself, Herlene, and Jonathan, we came up with the theme Driven. In fact, the name itself came from Jonathan as a recommendation. Why don't we do this? And this would become our yearly conference. And so that's how Driven came about in 2004.
Now, out of all the years of Driven, how many have you been to, and which one Driven moment stands out to you the most?
That's a hard one. I served on the Driven team as a director from 2004, and I believe my last one was 2012 or 13. No, I think it was 2012 was my last Driven. So I served for about 8 years as the president, director, whatever the title would have been for us. I've enjoyed all the Driven conferences, and I think one of the things that we've established and we come to recognize that it really didn't matter where we were, it didn't matter what was happening, that we had the opportunity for God to meet us. And every year I would watch the kids come in on a Thursday. If we were in White, I think there was one place we went to in Watson, I believe, and all the kids were frustrated at me and upset. Why did you bring us out into the boondocks? Because we always try to find ways to save money, but also make a conference well. And so the one place that we found was way out there in the boondocks, and we had some kids from one church in particular that refused to get out of the van because they would not like, I'm not coming out here on that Thursday night. And that was almost every year. But by Friday night, everything changed. Everybody was in the spirit, was enjoying what was happening. They gotten to know one another. There wasn't churches versus church now. It was just one conference together. And every year it would just happen over and over. It would start with a disappointment. How dare you brought us here? And by Friday night, Saturday night, oh man, we don't want to leave this place. And so that would be a recurring theme that would serve with us every year. And so I've enjoyed that. The most memorable, I don't know if I can pick out one. I think was 2010, perhaps, when we came here, actually, in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, in Hershey. And I met this girl for the first time, Shy. She came in with an attitude. She was like, I'm here, I'm all that, don't bother me. And I started putting her on the spot, and she hated me for it. And the more she hated me for it, the more I would do it. And it came about by the end of this weekend, we started becoming friends. Now we still, every once in a while, touch base with one another. But there are these countless experiences that I can go over and over. I think one of the best things that we've enjoyed as part of our conference experience is our worship team, our musicians, our Betty, Radley, and many others who would come together. One of my other favorite thing was we started this mass choir every year that we wanted the churches to come together, and those who can sing to under the direction of Radley would come and sing for us on Sunday morning because we wanted Sunday experience to be as real as it was for them back at their home church.
Well, thank you very much, Ricardo, and we will see you guys at Driven 2017. It's already around the corner.